I noticed a friendly face during our 3-day return to office at a Fortune 50. Since the gentleman and I frequently worked 4 more days in the office each week, we often exchanged pleasantries. But one day I got curious about moving the conversation beyond the simple good morning and how are you? So I asked the gentleman I'll refer to as Bob what department he worked in, and I inquired about the current business challenges that he faced. And that's when it happened. Within less than 24 hours, a simple question served as the genesis for the restructuring plan detailed within this article. Bob told me that he worked in our social impact department and that he donated money on behalf of our organization, and that his biggest challenge involved calculating ROI and KPIs from his department's giving. And that's when it happened. The idea landed on me like a ton of bricks. You see, part of my role was to uncover newsworthy storylines at my company and pitch those stories to journalists. And with any luck, journalists would bite and publish our catchy storyline. And with any luck, that generate favorable news attention for my company, which was a global behemoth with touch points throughout the financial service industry and well beyond. My team's biggest challenges involved delivering truly exciting news and favorable coverage in a mostly monolithic, mostly stale, and mostly male organization. For Pete's sake, our roles required us to compete in a drama filled 24-hour global news cycle alongside industries with truly exciting news. Now, traditional marketing and communications teams, they often believe that their stories are exciting. But truth be told, really, can they be? After these folks spend 20 years running up, jogging up, or otherwise tiptoeing up the corporate ladder, they stay light years away from conflict. So many journalists simply don't bite on the majority of storylines we receive from corporations. And if you have any doubt about that, just go ahead and watch or click on news from a national outlet. Now, my team is phenomenal, many of whom I connect with outside of work. But with 200,000 plus employees, organizational culture is often controlling. Like Mick Jagger puts it, old habits die hard. Back to the challenges. Candidly, I despise pitching stories. It's too much like sales for me. And with all the saccharine interactions resulting from the jiggery pokery. Conversely, I absolutely love developing storylines, innovative problem solving, and connecting authentically along shared interests. Since I knew pitching was part of my role, I got creative and uncovered an intersection between my MBA experience, my communications experience, and my altruism. I set out to provide my team with an early holiday gift by providing them with a cacophony of evergreen storylines. Now, as every Marcom's pro knows, we have a feather in the cap leading to a striking mixture of media hits. It's called the beloved peso model, and here's what it stands for. The P equals paid media. That's where organizations pay to receive positive coverage. The E stands for earned media, media that's free because the story pitch was so great. The S stands for shared media, media we share on social platforms. And the O stands for owned media. That's on organizations' blogs, websites, etc. As a former TV reporter, I'm uniquely aware of what stories resonate with my former colleagues' mantra. If it bleeds, it leads. But it's not the type of attention most organizations want, if you know what I mean. As you might imagine, Marcom's pro or not, company budgets are not unlimited, not even within the financial services industry. So I needed to get creative. Also, not even within the financial services industry. If you carefully explore the challenges Bob and I exchanged, those challenges were perfectly complementary. Bob essentially paid media outlets. Sure, he did it through corporate giving, but he still paid media, which fit into the peso model. Bob simply wasn't able to show KPIs or ROI from all of his giving. But I sure could help with that by integrating my own challenges and my own opportunities. And my department only had $200,000 left in our Q4 paid media budget, which is considerably large considering typical American household budgets. But 200,000 paled when compared to my annual paid media budget and existing priorities. So what Bob's challenge essentially offered me was a much appreciated cash infusion to my paid media budget. Why weren't organizations organized like this previously? I was on the job for less than 3 years, and as I stated before, creativity isn't really how it works in a mostly monolithic, mostly male, and mostly stale environment. The 100-plus-year-old institution simply didn't have the priming for out of the box thinking, and their motto wasn't aligned. Luckily, with Bob and I aligned on shared interest, I emailed the president of a nationally recognized media brand, Share. My previous communication with Share was always pleasant. We communicated with each other at galas and sponsored panels. We shared the same news judgment and often exchanged hearty belly laughs. But the conversation I had with Share was typically meh when it involved earned media for the bank. For about 2 years, my team was never able to execute a long term storytelling strategy to align with Share's editorial priorities. And it wasn't for lack of trying. Not only was I working on building this relationship, but I also brought in a colleague. Brittany previously worked as a producer on a national TV news show. We tried on the earned media front with this particular outlet, and we failed miserably for about 2 years to do something truly big. But everything changed once I included an organizational silo, looping in Cher, Bob, and a few others on an email. Now remember, Bob provided donations to various media outlets, including Cher's organization. That leverage turned out to be monumental. Within 1 or 2 months of first meeting Bob, we reserved a meeting in one of my company's downtown meeting rooms. Cher attended alongside some of her executive level staff, and the rest is history. See how I integrated this plan and consider using it at your organization. It's a win win for everyone.